It is 7 p.m. I just woke up, and upon going on the OSRS Reddit, I found the warding blog. So, it's my first time reading this. I want to do my live reaction with you here, and I'll upload it to YouTube, of course, afterwards. So let's read it. So I guess this is just sort of like BS that they talk about, like description of the skill, not really important. Everyone knows what it is already. Yeah. I've already read all of these. I didn't read this entire thing because it's like a long as fuck thing to read, but I get the idea. What else is there to do? Battle words removed. People hated those. Okay, especially because some of them were really overpowered. That's nice. The Bane armors are gone. That's good. I complained about those a lot, and I think I talked about it before, right? So they've confirmed that they are removed. I don't actually remember what these are. V's variance reduced. I mean, that's good. Simple skills are better. Channeling lamp variance reduced. Okay, they have the same feeling. It's like I didn't have a problem with them at start, but if they're simpler now, that's good. I like when skills are more simple because if a skill is too complex, like farming, for example, I feel is really bad at this. Skills that are too complex are really hard to get into, and you get people who don't train them not because the skill is bad, but just because they're so convoluted. It's like, what are you supposed to be doing to start? I thought the Imbue being added to warding was like a huge thing of like why they wanted warding in the first place. New rewards, ward shops, okay. Moving from farming to hunter, I don't really care, that's fine, I guess. Charts on skill training loops, addition of XP rates, combination runes removed. Wait, what? I don't remember this one. I have to read what it's about. Committing to beta testing. Okay, that's good. Details about the core skill. So, similar to crafting, channeling lamp on V's. Channeling lamp and V's. Like, this is like your needle, I'm guessing. V's is like the thread. Okay, that makes sense. And you need a ward to channel the fabric. Okay, so it's okay. So it's like fire making plus you like do fire making to make like an anvil, and then while you're at the anvil, you use like a thread and needle to make the magic armor. That makes sense to me. Okay, it's still a bit too complex compared to the other crafting skills, but it's well, whatever. So the player wants to train warding. They decide which armor to make. If they have the materials, they look for a ward, but if they don't, then they have to like get the materials somehow. Dissolving everything is the item sink, so that's cool. Now they look for a ward nearby, and if there's none, they have to make the ward or find one from another player. So it encourages like community, like people being around like designated worlds with like designated spots to like train the skill. And we saw this in RS3 where like they have these things called portables there, and portables confer benefits to production skills like fire making or fletching, herblore. If you go to the portables, and what happens in RS3 is that people set up portables for all the other players to use. It's sort of like akin to RD Night splashing in OSRS. Like it's like the same kind of community idea, and like everyone does it at the same place at the same worlds, so that it's always consistent. Everyone knows where they have to go. I do like that a lot, and what I don't like about it is that the people talk there. I know some people will probably like it, but usually I don't really care what other players have to say, so for me it just turns into a public off kind of thing. But I think it's a good thing for like people who do like the idea of community to be able to go there and talk to other players while training skills. I think that's cool. It's just not for me. I'd still vote yes to this concept because I do recognize the positivity that can come from socializing in game. I just don't care for it. Now, the ways to gather materials. This is more for Iron Men, so I don't really care too much about this because I don't plan on wasting my time gathering materials. But if they have no materials to train, they can buy from the Grand Exchange. Easy, perfect, simple. Same for V's. You buy from the Grand Exchange, perfect, simple. That's what I'm gonna do. If you don't do this, you're an idiot. Or an Iron Man, which is an idiot anyway, so I guess that's kind of redundant. But still, I felt like I made that distinction clear. Now, you obtain silk via combat, or can it be obtained from combat? Okay, so silk you get from hunter or combat. All right. I don't know where farming comes into play, but sure. Um, V's, you dissolve items. Wait. So it's like you can dissolve items to get the V's, or you splash on the room crafting altars to get V's. I get it. Okay, so like this is the solution for splashing. You splash on the room crafting altars and you get V's from it. All right, that's cool. Now dissolving. Let's see. You can dissolve, unpick, or reforge items to turn them into Vs. Dissolving is an item sync method that allows you to take excess items to a ward to dissolve, resulting in giving you Vs and token XP, which aids you in making more armors for warding XP later. Below is a list of various items you can dissolve, unpick, or forge. Okay, it's like I'm pretty sure this is like everything. I don't know if it's everything, but I'm pretty sure it's like everything. I feel weird that like crosshairs would be under smithing. I feel like they'd make more sense under warding. I don't know. It's fine though. But you have to use crafting and smithing to get the materials, which I think is cool because it makes smithing and crafting a bit more useful, and like, it adds a bit of profit to the skill. I'm not sure if they were profitable before. I know smithing was at like blast furnace and stuff, or making rune items, but crafting I don't know, or at least not very profitable. So that's cool that they're adding more profitable ways to train these skills. Workshops. Throughout the world, in a few select places, a bunch of new workshops have opened with a specialization in everything warding. In these shops, the shopkeepers have stocked up on channeling lamps and small quantities of V's. There's also a tutor in the Alcaridge shop that will teach you how to train warding. Fuck me, that means they're gonna get bought out by bots, aren't they? It happens to rarely scale. It sucks, but it's whatever. But like when like they release content like this, it's just a given that bots will be doing some shit, and I just hope that the effect of these bots on the economy of V's isn't so detrimental that it's like all the I don't know how to describe it. It's like I get that the materials like the silks and stuff are gonna be common, but like they're already at elk price. Is it possible for them to like go up from elk price? Like you just see like 100k mystic robes because like there's just so much V's in the economy but not enough silks. I don't know how this is gonna work. Now, monster killing and hunter. You can kill various monsters for items to dissolve down that is used for warding. So are they going to add new items to these drop tables then? That could be a great way to revitalize certain NPCs, but I could also see certain NPCs becoming batshit crazy for like profit per hour in the short term, which is something you have to deal with, I guess, on new update day. If you're there to take advantage of it, that's cool. If you're not, well, sucks to be you. I want to see how they do this. It could go poorly, it could go well. If it goes well, I was trying to think of comparisons, but I don't know of any situation where it went well. But if it goes poorly, then it'll be like Slayer, where right now everything is just completely overloaded drop tables, and I would not like that much at all. But if it goes well, if this somehow goes well where Slayer did fail, then that'd be really cool. Now, butterfly net hunting, pitfall trapping. Okay, so they're taking like basically the dead content methods of Hunter, and they want to like get the silk from them that way. I've like skimming over these monsters. It doesn't really matter to me. But I don't understand. What are they gonna make with like? Oh, it was lunar robes that they make with Suka hide. What robes do they make with Chaos Silk? I don't remember. Did they say? I'm gonna guess like Chaos Druid robes or something like that. Dagonoth is gonna be what is skeletal? I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure it's skeletal that they drop, right? Whatever. I'll figure it out later. Details about should we add the core skill warding to the game as described in the blog? It depends on the other questions, because if the other questions are good and I feel like warding adds a lot to the game, then it's worth voting yes to. But even if the basic concept of the skill is good, if the implementation is just completely retarded, then I don't see any trust in Jagex to add the skill in the game. So this is basically like the list of armor. Okay. Pretty comprehensive. I'm not going to read all of this, but you know, it's about what I expected. Where's the Chaos Robes used for? Dagon High Robes. I see. So, paddle set. 3 prayer bonus with each piece and 35 when all pieces are worn together. Will of Saradamin, which is increased magic damage on all followers. Fuck off! You removed them from those other sets, but you just add it to this set anyway. What the fuck is wrong with you? You don't learn, do you? You don't fucking learn, Jagex. 25% bonus damage against demons and hellhounds. Yes, I know they're not exactly the most popular monsters like Barrage or whatever, but like, I think it's so dumb because even if the monsters don't have a niche right now, it pretty much guarantees that like, if you ever release a demon or follower of Zamorak that magic is good on, well, Ancestral's dead now. It especially gets bad if like I'm gonna read the rest of these and it's gonna be like, oh, increases the damage against so and so by whatever percent. Because that's the same problem. I hate this. No. Okay, so this one, thankfully, it doesn't have the percent damage buff, so that makes me feel a bit better about Paddle Set if it's just like a one-off thing. Fuck, man, that bonus is insanely good. 25%. Oh, okay. So my main problem with like these percent damage bonus boosts is that if you have so many percent damage bonus boosts, then what ends up happening is that like each individual niche item ends up overtaking Ancestral, and Ancestral ends up being the niche item. Almost paradoxically, because it's supposed to be meant like best general use, right? But it ends up being the niche one because there's just so many niche items. And I don't want that to happen, and I think it's a very slippery slope when you start adding these into the game. So I'm very, very cautious about it. And if my opinion of this will change depending on how many others there are. Like, if they added the opposite, for example, like Will of Zamorak that increases damage against Saradamin, like, it makes sense thematically because this one's in the game, but at the same time, it's like, fuck off. We already have enough percent damage items. You don't need more. Robes are an improved version of the Shade Robes. However, these will be members only. Mimic the look of Arceus Robes. I'm guessing this is just like low level content, so it's not that useful. It's okay. I don't really care too much about low level stuff. So we had the ability to ward the Thaumaturge set with warding. What does this do? So it makes every spell 4 ticks. What does that look like? How much deep? That's like... So if you have a 3-second cooldown right now, and then you get 2.4... why am I so fucking dumb? What's 3 divided by 2.4? So it's like essentially a 25% damage bonus for auto casting the regular spellbook spells. I don't know how I feel about that. That's like, it sounds like a good change to me, but I'd have to do the math. Because everyone knows that the regular spells are kind of shit right now. It sounds overpowered. It sounds really overpowered. Because could you imagine casting Fire Surge on 2.4 seconds? But at the same time, like, I was looking for a buff to Wrath Runes and making this normal spellbook more viable, and this is it. Damn. I don't know how I actually feel about this. How much is the max hit of Fire Surge, like, just in general? Base damage of 24, increased by 50% to 36. When you have everything, the max hit is 54. But that's only when Slayer. 49 was max magic percent gear damage. So a slight buff over Ancestral, I'm assuming, but you can only use it off task because you only get this bonus without the Slayer Helm. Oh, but this is a glove, I'm guessing. Does this say? Tights is obviously the legs. Torso is the top, masked helm. But what's Warper? Are these like gloves or? Oh, it's okay. No, I'm an idiot. It's right here. It's shield slot. Okay. So you can't use the Tome of Fire. Okay, so this entire time I was just missing the point entirely. That was completely my fault. I'm so sorry about that. So what's the max hit then? It's like not that bad then. Okay, that's pretty balanced. That's a good one. Okay. Blood Bark. Seems reasonable. I like it. Fairly tanky. Has magic bonuses. Like, this is good. You know, I'm okay with this. That's good. Dagon High. What kind of bullshit does this have? Between Arms and Ancestral. Sorry. 70 magic and 30 defense. Okay, alright. So it's like literally just like in terms of magic bonus between Arms and Ancestral. That's cool, man. What do you use to make them though? Let me check up here again. Chaos Silk. From Chaos Silk Moths. That's kind of like low requirement considering that you're because like the Chaos Silk Moths are level 60 hunter requirement, but then the actual like gear you're making is like gonna be like in between 70 to 75, which I feel is weird. See the rest. Just in general, I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? Because I feel like no matter what, it's like you can have players making them. So I don't feel like the level really matters that much, but it's just something I was thinking. Fuck, that makes this armor so common then. Doesn't that really devalue Arms? Or is it like, what do you need else to make them? Chaos Silk with Fire V's. It's like, no, but Fire V's can't be uncommon because you need like the Shadow Silk to make them. I mean, you use the Shadow Silk with the Fire V's to make Shade Robes. So is it just like, is Arms gonna be like a 10k item set now? I don't get it. What's going on? I'm so confused right now. Like, where do you get Holy Silk from? Is it also moths? Yeah, where the fuck is Holy Silk from? I don't even see this at all here. Or is it like from these things? I guess from like Vestant robes? That's so weird. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I don't know. Dagon High I think is fine. But damn, that is going to be really fucking cheap considering that it's supposed to be better than Arms. And wow, that is very ambitious. I don't know if I can agree with that. I should probably write this down in a notepad somewhere, like to send my complaints to Jagex eventually. So like, what complaints do I have so far? First complaint is, let's see, where is it? Paddle set, damage buff, unnecessary, slippery slope to power creep, ancestral. Next complaint was Dagon High. So, you know, we're doing pretty good right now. Like, we're like batting 50-50 with these sets. You know, they're doing pretty good. I feel like they made a lot of these sets just like gauge player opinion. And just like, you know, they throw out as many as they can. You know, some of them have to be good, right? I feel like that's what they're doing here, which is fine. Dagon High sounds too cheap given the materials. Fire V's supposed to be used for low level armor. Plus silk being easily obtained from Hunter devalues Arms too much. I think it would be fine if the silk came from like, what's it called? Disassembling? I don't know what to call it. Disassembling Arms. This is gonna be a long video, isn't it? Damaron set. Fuck off. I didn't even like read this, but as soon as I saw 12.5% magic damage boost, I'm like, yeah, okay, man. But it is in the Wildy, and usually you're there with a Slayer helmet boost anyway, so You know what? In this case, because it's Slayer Helm bonus like level, I think I'm fine with that. Because like this way, like if you're on task, you can like Ancestral is still better. It's not like people are bringing Ancestral into the wilderness anyway, so. You know what? Fine. That one. This one's okay. I'll let this one slide. Dameron set is okay too. Is okay, but it has. No. Dameron set is okay because it doesn't encroach on Ancestral's niche, and Ancestral is still technically better on task. Alright, that works. I'm okay with this one. Astral Armor. Yeah, that seems okay. Improved version of Lunar Armor is like a bit worse. I'm guessing, looking at this, it's like a bit worse than Arms, right? Like, that's fine. Arms is so getting devalued right now, though. How much is Mystic Robe Top? Not in terms of like not in terms of like cost, but what are the stats of a Mystic Robe Top? So it's like slightly better than the Mystic Robe Top, and then how does it compare to Arms? Oh, it's about the same. It's literally just third age robes. Yeah, whatever. That's fine, I guess. It'll devalue Arms by a bit, but it's whatever. Other items. So these are just NMZ boosts, whatever. Skilling rings. Okay, yeah, these are these are fucking garbage. I don't know how I feel about them, but because like they're gonna help bots. Does there any legit player actually like care about getting more logs or getting more produce? Actually, more produce maybe. Wait, from allotments? That's so fucking useless. I don't like this question because I feel like they should have been split up. I wish we got the chance to vote on each of them separately. Separate skilling rings poll so that you can vote on each of the rings separately. Like, does it really like matter? Like, some of these are good. Like, I could see people wanting Ring of Bone, Ring of Iron is just gonna be like used by bots. Let's be honest, it's gonna be used by Runite bots. No one really wants Doublor. Amber is good. Earth is actual dead content. Wood is going to be used by bots. No one legit cuts trees. Instead of contacting the nicest NPC, yeah. So the idea is you use Abyssal Silk to repair rune pouches instead of like having to NPC contact them. I'm okay with this. It fits within the theme of the skill. And you know, I don't like NPC contact. It's really fucking clunky, but maybe that's the point. It's like a incentive. It's like an incentive to use the RC cape. This still takes a bit of time, so it's not like it's completely devaluing the RC cape, but you know, it's fine. I'd be okay with this. Elemental tomes. Sorry, they want to include the Tome of Air, Water, and Earth. My concern with this is that you see, with the Tome of Fire, that's fine because like you already have a Staff of Fire. And you could just like Staff of Fire plus Staff of Air. I'm trying to think. How does this affect Smoke Battle Staff? Does it? I don't think it affects it that much, does it? I think it's fine, but just in case I'm missing something, I'm gonna say I give it the same complaint as the skilling rings one. So that you can like vote on each of the rings and tomes separately, just in case I'm missing something here. Maybe there's like some interaction I'm missing that you like, or like you can use these tomes for something plus like a staff, but you can't do it with Tome of Fire right now for some reason. I don't know, but maybe I'm missing something. But I feel like these should be in separate polls, like poll each one. An incantation is an item held in the ammunition slot that increases the user's magic bonuses. These function the same way that blessings do. Okay, but for magic, are you sure about that? Interesting. They also spelled wrath wrong here. That's pretty cool. Are they sure about this though? Actual defensive bonuses and attack bonuses in the ammunition slot. I think the magic defense is what gets me. If it was just magic attack, I'd be like, fine, magic's underpowered right now too. But the fact that they have the magic defense attached to just means it's really universal for like anything that uses magic attack, and you don't use, and you're using like melee only, or like you don't use any arrows or bolts, then you'd want this just for the tankiness. Ammunition slot having tank stats on it, I guess technically prayer is a tank stat because like you extend your prayers with tank stats, and that makes you extend your prayer with a prayer bonus, and that makes you artificially tankier because you take 0 damage for longer. I don't know how I feel about this though. Oh. Okay. I think if it's like balanced, it's like this low, then it's kind of balanced. I'll have to see what other people think though. Anti-poison lamp. This lamp will be wieldable in the offhand slot. It can be filled with anti-poison potions of all varieties. Once equipped, the player will be immune to poison, providing the lamp has charges inside of it. A charge is removed whenever a player would have been poisoned. Learning to make this lamp can either be done via warding or a warding related quest. It will require 20 warding to make. I don't understand. How does this work? Like, for example, at Zulrah, for example, like every time it does an attack, or at least the range attack, right? It poisons you. So how does that work? Like, say you get poisoned by Zulrah, that takes a charge, right? Obviously, like the Blood Scribes. But then, like, you didn't use an anti-poison. So if it hits you with another range attack, does it poison you again? Or is it like the poison, like, you get the immunity from the anti-poison as it triggers. So there's a cooldown in it where you can't be poisoned again for X amount of duration. I think it needs to be more clear. There's like some enemies that can poison you very frequently. It's very, very weird. But I guess Zulrah has Venom too, right? That's weird to me. I don't know. It feels like this item is really shit anyway, so it shouldn't work like that. But I feel like I'm not misunderstanding it, and it actually does work like that, and it's just really shit. The current rune pouch is an item that can store 16,000 of 3... Okay, whatever. I know what it is. I know rune pouches, okay? New pouches are follows. Elemental runes are a new pouch that stores 2 types of elemental runes, so it's a really shitty rune pouch, okay? And the large rune pouch, 4 types of any runes. Okay, I don't think I've talked about this before because I mentioned on a Reddit comment, and someone suggested this before. I don't think it's like that game breaking. It's nice for like TOB because you get to bring in 1 extra supply since you can put your soul runes in the pouch now. You know, it's whatever. Oh, so there's a wilderness rune pouch now too. Okay, and that's just replacing the current one. Okay. So I don't know. Why don't they separate these questions? I think the rune pouch, like the complaint about separating questions, it feels like these should be separate questions, because maybe like people are okay with the elemental rune pouch but not the large rune pouch. It's fucking weird. Make sure of the redirections of warding. Whoa, no to this one. Fuck, I mean, it's not like people don't have infinite number of zone points already. I'm gonna stock up on these then. Fuck, if they roll yes to this, I'm stocking up on them. Fuck. I don't know what to say. Wait, let me go up again to the ring review one. Did they say they're gonna get rid of ring reviews? They didn't say they're gonna get rid of the ring reviews, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm buying them then. I'm buying them out. Fuck that. This pouch will be a combination of all essence pouches magically fused. Will be. Okay, just assume it's just supposed to be magically fused at a ward by channeling Omnivis with all 4 pouches. Okay. The pouch holds 27 essence, so slightly less than cumulative of all the pouches, but you only have to collect 1, so I think that's completely overpowered because currently for runecrafting anyways, you don't use all of them unless you're some kind of like god at clicking. Fused patch has 1 in 330 chance. That sounds so annoying because you could theoretically like break it twice in a row. Fuck, man. I don't know if this is actually good or not. It sounds annoying as shit, especially because like you can only have 1 at a time. It sounds annoying as fuck to deal with. It sounds overpowered, but it sounds annoying too. I don't know if the 1 in 3. I don't know. Someone better at me at runecrafting should do the calculation to see like if the 1 in 330 chance of breaking outweighs the amount of ticks that you save, clicking multiple pouches. If you're inefficient too, I'd assume it does, because 1 in 3 10 is a small chance, but just gonna be really tilting when it breaks twice in a row. So, I don't know how to feel about it. I feel like in terms of like player utility, it'd be better if it was like regular runecrafting pouches where it wasn't a chance of breaking. Instead, it's just like you know when it breaks. Mystical Sleuthing, hybrid skilling method for warding and runecrafting. It requires completion of rune mysteries and the introduction warding quest that will come with the core skill. Players will also need a channeling lamp, whatever, I don't care. The aim of the minigame is to utilize your knowledge and warding of runecrafting to help citizens of Gielinor deal with magical problems and threats. You can start this by getting a mission from various wizards. Okay, so you basically like talk to some fucker to get a task. Upon your mission, you will be then given location details of a place to investigate any sinister magical marks. Once investigated, you will tackle the threat by making the appropriate ward. The ward will then turn the threat into a hard rocky material residue. Okay. Siphon runes via your talisman. Repeat the okay, so get a mission, investigate it, make a ward, and then like siphon. So it's basically rune span. I'm pretty sure this actually is rune span, isn't it? Just like across all of RS except one spot. It sounds a lot like rune span to me. But they say no more than what you warding XP rates are no more than 1/3 of what you'd get training skill normally. So no more than I'd say like, well, what was it, 130k XP per hour? Because I remember seeing like a picture that said they thought other viables were like 400k XP per hour, right? It's like 1/3 of training skill normally means 130k XP per hour. I mean, that's decent for a viable. Runecrafting XP will be minimal and no more than 5k an hour. I love how they specify that because they know that people are gonna go ape shit if they buff runecrafting XP. Okay, whatever. If people want to do this mini game, then they can do it. Go for it, man. Be my guest. Warding Guild. Ability to add more content to the skill whilst expanding on the reasoning behind it with new NPCs, lore, and dialogue. This guild will also offer silk cupboard, seed vault. Okay, so there's like a seed vault for Iron Man. There will be a bank at this guild that allows easy access for training warding. Warding guild will be a permanent catalytic ward, and Omni Altar. Okay. I was gonna like say, do you get like can you like craft every rune here or some shit? But no, it's just like making V's and ring abuse for the shit. Okay, that's fine. I don't know what the fuck was like combination runes and shit. They're gone now though, so it doesn't really matter. But okay. JMod questions. What is warding? Okay, let's watch this video.
Welcome to a quick summary of our newly proposed skill, warding. In this video, we'll be talking about what warding is, how you train it, and what it offers you and the game. We also have some insights into how we've been working with community feedback and how the design process has worked so far.
Warding is a skill that is used to create magical equipment like robes and imbued rings. Warding would finally give players the ability to create a large swathe of pre-existing magical equipment. This would fill in gaps and improve the early game. Being a skill focused around magic, the terminology may get a little confusing, but essentially, warding is the manipulation of a magical energy known as Viz. This is then channeled into a material to form a piece of magical equipment like robes, weapons, and jewelry. We'd want to keep it consistent with the smithing and crafting skills, so
this is just a RuneFest video, right? I'm pretty sure I've seen this already. Okay. So, let's recap. I feel like warding is a good fit in RuneScape. I would like to see this skill in the game in some form. It'll suck to lose my max cape. There's going to be some major repercussions on the economy. So if you're an Alker, sucks to be you, because a lot of items are going to be very expensive. Skilling is going to be very profitable for the first day or so of warding and like slowly die off over the following weeks. So the major economic implications are going to be mostly short term, and I want to see what they imply long term, because it does take a lot of gold out of the game. So I could feel like over the long term, what we would see is like the value of gold rising up and items costing less, but at the same time players have less access to gold. Now, as for the pole block, what do I have problems with? Let's recap. Paddle's set buff damage buff is unnecessary. I talked about this in my Bane Armors video, and what I think about it is that, like, fine, one is fine. I'm completely fine with one of them, but we have to be careful to not add too many such that Ancestral becomes dead content. Diamond one, whatever this Wilderness guy said is fine, because it doesn't encroach on Ancestral's niches, and Ancestral is still better if you have a Slayer task. So perfect, okay? That's fine. Dagon High. The problem with that is it's supposed to be better than Ahrim's, but at the same time, what I'm seeing from this blog post implies that Dagon High is really easy to make, and that'll devalue Ahrim by a lot. And I feel like Dagon High should be worth more if it's like supposed to like be better than Ahrim's, right? If it's supposed to be better than Ahrim's and worse than Ancestral, you should expect a price in between that, like maybe like 4 to 5 mil. But currently we see it at something that implied to be very cheap, considering the materials are acquired from hunting, and one of the other materials is used for low level training. So I can't expect this to be very expensive, and I think that you need to change the materials on this Dagon High set to make it reflect the tier that it's at more accurately. Next was this, just for skilling rings, rune pouches, and tomes. I felt like they needed to pull them all separately, because while the previous ring imbues were in the game already, so it's like a blanket move them from NMZ to warding, the skilling rings all are brand new items and have new enough effects such that we would want to like pull them separately, especially for rune pouches, because like in terms of balancing, those rune pouches are completely different from like what we currently have. So I feel like you'd have a better chance of getting those ones to pass if you split up the poll questions. Finally, just a minor thing. It's a clarification on the anti-poison lamp mechanics. Does it actually like take one charge away from the lamp every time you're about to get poisoned, or is there like some kind of like soft cooldown on it where it won't take a charge for a little while? Because I feel like the item's already kind of shit, and making it take a charge every time you get poisoned is just insanely bad, because then your charges go away so fast. Like, how many charges do you get from an anti-poison 2? Anyways, this is a long video. My throat hurts now. Thank you for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts below.